my last trip to the Dolomites back in the autumn of 2022, I left hoping to come back in spring of the following year. There were several things I wanted to shoot that I wasn't able to on that trip. On the top of my list, I was hoping to shoot Lake Limeres after I was unable to shoot it in October. Apparently, the lake usually dries out over the summer, and I was determined to come back in the spring when I was sure there would be plenty of water. I was also hoping to shoot the full arc of the Milky Way over Tre Cime and Cinque Torri, but I knew that the arc would only be at a low angle in spring and in early summer. I was also hoping for a new moon for the Milky Way, which just happened to land on May the 7th. When I made my reservations for Ireland back in February of 2024, I was surprised to learn that I could get one-way airfare from Dublin to Munich for only a couple $100s. I booked a flight to Munich, and on May the 7th, I took off from Dublin, hoping to get some great conditions on the next stage of my trip.
Vielen Dank, dass Sie sich für Lufthansa Starlines für diesen Flug entschieden haben. Wir wünschen Ihnen jetzt noch einen angenehmen Tag hier.
After picking up my rental car and getting myself used to driving back on the right side of the road, I set off on the 4-hour trip from Munich to my Airbnb in northern Italy. Leaving Munich, I'm on the
meters, merge onto A99.
Outskirts on the A9 on the way to Italy. I pulled over to get a vignette sticker at the first rest stop / gas stop / McDonald's, and
Head south toward A99.
back on the road.
In 200 meters, merge onto A99.
Everything very green. As I approach my Airbnb in Issegno, which is right next to Munich, and St. Sigmund. Yeah. If I remember how to do this.
Turn left onto Via Kienes Kienerdorf Weg. Continue on SP89 for 1 kilometer. Destination will be on the left.
There it is. My apartment's right up there on the
Your destination is on the left.
second floor. It's the second floor. Stuff like this. This is my element. This is where I would live. I had only been to South Tyrol and the Dolomites in autumn before, so it took me a while to adjust to the green fields and wildflowers in the meadows. The other major difference was that it seemed to be raining almost non-stop in early May. It was still raining on May the 8th and showed no signs of stopping, so I headed off to explore the area above San Viglio, which was located in the nearby valley of Moarhof. I found this spot on Google Earth a few years ago, but had only shot it in autumn. I was anxious to see how it looked in the spring. One of the things that I was dreading on this trip was seeing how many more trees have died in the 2 years since I was here last. South Tyrol has been hit hard by what I believe are bark beetles, which have ravaged the mountainsides in parts of Europe, just like they have in Western Canada and parts of the Western US. Thousands of trees have already been removed, but it seems like Italy is unable to keep up with the devastation. I was really hoping that they had come up with a solution to save the trees in northern Italy, but as I drove through the area surrounding San Viglio, it looked like the devastation was starting to spread without an end in sight. So I'm going to keep going. It just shows that this road heads back exactly the way I came, and then goes down back into the valley. I think I can get to Munich from there. Just want to see what else is out here, what other little towns or whatnot. But yeah, again, I'm just horrified by the amount of tree loss that I'm seeing. Even over here, look at, these are all bark beetles, I'm sure of it. I keep hearing things like if they would have, you know, a whole week of sub-zero temperatures, they'd all die, but I don't know how accurate that is. So those eggs, you have to kill those eggs. One of those tree processing centers. This ridge across the way is just gone. I like these little bridges that you can just drive under. And a bed and breakfast maybe back there. Jeez. Like I said, trees can come down and squish you. It's going to be a job all summer long. These look better over this way. I don't know if they can be saved though. I don't know if any of these can be saved unless somebody figures out how to kill those bugs. Oh, wow, look at that little shrine. I wonder how old that is. While it was raining, I did a bit of research on the spots I was really hoping to shoot. Now, admittedly, I probably should have done this research before arriving in South Tyrol, but none of these potential problems occurred to me while I was planning my trip. As I did my research, it became clear that early spring was regarded as the worst season to visit the Dolomites. In fact, one of the South Tyrol websites didn't even have spring listed on their seasonal activities page. Most of the ski lifts had just shut down in mid-April, but at the same time, many of the higher trails were still buried in deep snow. The road to Trecime wasn't even open yet due to heavy snowpack, and it wasn't expected to open until late May. My other option for the Milky Way was Cinque Torri, but those trails were also still buried in snow. I didn't bring my crampons or snowshoes because I had just assumed most of the snow would be gone by now. And Lake Lemedes, well, it was still frozen over and covered in snow. So most of my high-altitude photography spots were now out of the question, but fortunately, I still had a ton of options as lower-altitude trails were now snow-free and several of the higher passes were accessible by car. Val Pusteria is one of the most gorgeous valleys in the Alps, and as soon as the sun came out, I headed up a nearby trail above Tarento to get some badly needed exercise and to check out the views.
100 meters, turn right onto SP40.
Man, imagine going down on that road. It looks like it just goes off a cliff. Just a driveway. Peaceful. There's a chance I'm gonna get smushed, so I better walk on the side. I like these trees. Look at these trees. I was planning on hiking above the Moarhof Alm Refugio, but as I arrived, there was a crane blocking the road, and it was clear that they didn't want people walking back and forth in the construction zone while they were working. It was another example of everyone using the month of May to prepare for the upcoming tourist season in the summer. So instead, I enjoyed a panoramic view of Val Pusteria before heading back to my Airbnb. Down on the bottom, a couple of the old farmers talking, staring, getting the beady eye to foreigners driving around. Man, look at this. I'm on my way to Lake Lemedes, and the sky still looks really nice. I don't know if there's enough clearance out to the west to allow enough sun in, but I've got enough time to mess around.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Viglio.
As I headed up Route SS244, I encountered some of the most gorgeous light that I had ever seen. As I turned off onto SP37 and SP24, the sun sank lower into the golden hour, and the peaks above me began to glow. As I climbed higher into Passo Valparola, the sun continued to find gaps in the clouds, making an already dramatic view that much more spectacular. Coming out, gotta get to the top of this thing. I'll probably do some more shooting at the top, possibly. Oh my gosh, what a day to be out shooting. Light under lighting. I'm just about to lose my car. Oh, it got even better. It's raining over there. That'll work. Those trees are still kind of in my way. Another shot that I wanted. The other side, and I may end up coming back here. Oh, I need to put in coordinates for La Dolomites on Google Earth, since Apple is screwing things up so horrifically. Still some light over here. Trying to
continue on Strada Provinciale 24 del Passo Valparola for 2 kilometers.
Maximize my shooting here, and if Dolomites is not going to happen, then I need to just turn around and come back. But there's still some light over here too, everywhere. It's like walking right into a Bruno Pisani video. Is that Cicatore? The cloud's picking up a lot of light. Oh, but it's snow. I can't get through the snow. I can't even hike out there. And then look at, there's a pond right next to me. There's nothing there. This is the second time I've come out to Dolomites and there's nothing there. It's going to be under 4 feet of snow. It's still frozen. Oh my gosh. Look at this though, huh? Wow. And there's just good light everywhere today. Good light everywhere. Do I want to stop? I just think that lake filled up with snow and it's got to melt first. Could be totally wrong. It's probably people want to shoot that thing in May. Everything's too early. How do we get back where I was? Brunico. See what happened to the light since I left. It's probably gone now. I like that underlighting though. That's crazy. My gosh. Yeah, definitely should stay on this side. Definitely should stay over here. Wow. They're getting the sun too, just the last little bit of sun. I may pull my tripod out for this, but I gotta get the sun first. Look at this blue against it. warm setting sun. The sky is just blue and black. The light on the snow is just incredible. Look at this. I bailed on Lake Limetas because I think it's covered in snow. I don't have this kind of light. It's just going behind a peak right now, so I'm gonna try to get a sun star in about 10 seconds. Cannot believe this. It's so stunning. I wasn't planning on heading back to Passo Valparola on May the 10th, but the clouds disappeared in the west, and the last few clouds of the day seemed to be congregating exactly where I was the night before. The light was starting to look amazing again, and as I drove to the pass, it occurred to me that there is no wrong season to head to South Tyrol and the Dolomites. While I missed out on shooting Lago Limeres, Tre Cime, and Cinque Torri, I found myself shooting several scenes that I had never shot before in the fall. And since the tourist season hadn't started yet, there was hardly anyone else around as I shot. And the light was spectacular. More of my adventures are coming up in part 2, but before I end this episode, here are a few of my shots from the first half of my amazing time shooting in early spring in the Dolomites.